Every company has a cloud presence, and every company wants to save money in the cloud. The most important question all of these companies ask is where to start and how to start. There are so many things in the cloud, so many moving parts, and every company wonders as how they should proceed in the cloud to save some cost and to do the FinOps. And this is not confined to any specific cloud provider. This is a problem across the board with every cloud provider. If you look at their documentation, if you look at their presentation, it becomes so overwhelming and cumbersome that companies just get into the rigmarole of this whole FinOps exercise and they get entangled in all those terminologies. In this video, my intention is to give you some of the pointers as how you can go about this FinOps exercise, which simply means cost optimization or saving money in the cloud. First and foremost thing you need to remember in this regard is that don't try out anything extra smart or extra clever. Go for the readily, easily achievable task, or in other words, go for the low hanging fruit. Because if you find the low hanging fruit, then it will be most straightforward thing to do and it will bring you the most savings. So if you are faced with a cloud which is going way above the costs, then instead of going for the lesser known services or doing weird things, go for the most easy, visible, and obvious things. And yes, I'm talking about EC2 costs, I'm talking about RDS, I'm talking about ABS. Go for these first, and then start wondering about your cloud trails, CloudWatch logs, API gateways, Cognito, and all that stuff. The reason why I'm saying is that if you do this, I can assure you that you will quickly and meaningfully cut your costs more than half. And this is, I'm telling you from real world experience. So if you're not focusing on the low hanging fruit from the start, then this exercise will drag on and on and on. So focus on the low hanging fruit, which is your compute and your storage, and then rest will follow later on. And when I say compute and storage, for example, in terms of AWS, it is easy to instances, right size them, stop them, schedule them, get rid of them. And same goes for your storage for EBS volumes or snapshots. Create a backup policy, delete older ones, shrink the size, compress them, throw them in the glacier. That should you be doing. Implement the savings plans or whatever is equivalent in other cloud like Azure or GCP, and then focus on these things. Also have a look at your IOPS for your RDS or database instances and then try to reduce them. This is where you should be focusing. And then you can focus on CloudWatch logs or even your other services which I just mentioned. Because if you would start focusing on your Cognito user pools from the start or API gateway stages and that sort of stuff, that will drag on and go on and on. So don't go there first. Now, when I say go for the low hanging fruit, there are various reasons why I suggest that. Because first and foremost, that is an easy win. It is simple to apply. And then when something is simple to apply, then you act on it fast. So you are biased for action, which is always a great thing. For me, the most important thing to start with simple is that it creates a momentum. When you have a momentum, then you keep going on and you don't stop and you achieve a lot of things quickly. The feedback loop becomes shorter and then you get confidence that this is going to work. And this really boosts the morale and motivation across the board to your whole team and even your whole department. This also, of course, minimizes the time and maximizes the cost. And then you can scale it from there, and then it will be easier to convince other groups and management to keep going on with the FinOps. And remember, there is a very famous rule, Occam's razor, which means that simplest explanation is usually the best one. So once you have quick wins, then it also becomes habit if you keep doing it because FinOps is not one-time exercise. You have to do it again and again you have to iterate it, and that should become a habit for all of your teams, whether it's an ops team or DevOps team. So when it becomes an habit, FinOps becomes inherent in whatever you guys are doing. And then also remember that simple things are easy to communicate, and communication is a big thing in any organization. Lastly, but not least, it is very easy to estimate what would be the impact, and then you can also show the cost saving very quickly. So these are few of the reasons why I suggest that always go with the low hanging fruit first and then evolve from there. I hope that this was useful. If you have any insights into it, please share it in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you.